You know who it is once again. The intrepid, the uncanny, Derek Diablo, Delboy, D Diablo TV. Like, subscribe, do things you're supposed to do. In order to edify your mind and understand this terrorist culture, this thing of ours, and we need to go back to the very origins. And yes, UK lads, you have more experience on me with the football hooliganism as such, but understand that when you say sports-related violence, which is what UK football hooliganism fits under, but also you got European ultras, and you got South American barrabras, torcidas, Central American hinchadas. So it's not the only expression of hardcore football supporting and violent football supporting. And then you go, and if you see even in Eastern Europe, sometimes they do it over basketball, and you could do it over different sports. So the hooliganism with the culture attached to it and everything, let's just say football hooligans, football violence, let's just say sports-related violence. Here in South Florida, you know, people fight over Little League games. You know, fighting is normal at sports events in America. It's not a special culture. So with that being said, if you want to trace back the origins of sports-related violence, it goes back to the Roman Empire, 500 AD. It don't go back to the Greeks, and it don't go back to the ancient Egyptians. You see, they had sports, but they did not have the sports violence associated with it, let's say. The first, and I haven't thought about this stuff, I've studied it for a long time, but it comes up because of the blues and greens, because of the Cardiff Bluebirds and the Plymouth Green Army. Blue-green army. So me thinking about that, it made me think back to the blues and the greens. And what that was is 500 AD in Byzantium. That's Constantinople. Understand Emperor Justinian, and Theodora, I believe, is the empress. Anyway, the thing was, right, it's funny how the politics, and blue and green again in Glasgow, same situation, how the politics, yeah, the right and left wing come from France later. The right and left wing of the auditorium, where the ruling class and the aristocracy and the monarchy sat on the right wing of the auditorium, and the people sat on the left. It's the same situation, but it greens and the blues. Chariot hooligans, Chariot supporters, Chariot races. Yeah, and this in Constantinople and their auditorium. And around sometime after 500, you had the blues, right? They are loyal to the ruling class. So same as in Glasgow, same as Rangers, same politics, basically, aligned with the ruling class and the religious orthodoxies or whatever of those people. And then, so it's not exactly the same, but in the greens is the people. So then already it's a super violent sport. People are dying all the time and everything. And it's, you know, they killed 3,000. The greens ambushed the blues sometime, and they killed 3,000 of them. That's the scale we're talking about, compared to modern hooliganism or ultras or anything else. And then if you look at this, the Nika riots, Nike, victory. And basically what had happened, because Emperor Theodora and also Justinian, they were connected to the blues. So it's like the exact same thing in Italy with Lazio and Mussolini. That Mussolini supported Lazio. So it's the same. The Emperor Justinian and the Empress Theodora, when they were younger, they're supporting blues, and they're with blues, and blues are violent. And then it turned into a match sometime around, I want to say 534 AD by the top of my head. And this was they had hung a bunch of them, and 2 of them escaped. One was a green, one was a blue, and basically the blues and the greens, so the original right and left wing violent people, all united in the hippodrome against the emperor, against the government, and they started burning the rest of the city down, you understand? And there was rioting for 3 days and everything like that. And that Justinian chap, he was ready to leave and abdicate and give up. The blues and the greens would have won. Except the Theodora, she got in his head, she says, well, you can do whatever you want basically, but I'm not gonna go anywhere, I'll die here, and you'd prefer to die than leave here. And he stayed. She coaxed him into leaving, and he didn't go, and they fought back. And you talking about 150,000. Does any stadiums nowadays have 150,000 capacity? 150,000 lads in there. Overthrow the government, insurrection, will rule, blues and greens, united together, the extreme right and the violent left and the violent right, basically. But unfortunately, it was all cut down. And eventually, it's very poetic the way it sounds. It sounds macabre, but they killed all of them. You're talking about 150,000 person stadium, blues and greens rioting for 3 days. Nika riots, blues and greens. 534 AD, 500 AD, 500 AD to 540 AD. The origins of sports-related violence. You learned it from Delboy Diablo, the Hooligan Historian.